Reasoned about Rachel Zegler's Hollywood situation for 21 seconds. What would happen if I told you that Disney wants to erase its last princess? Rachel Zegler, the actress once hailed as Disney's future face, has completely disappeared from the studio's official media. And it's no coincidence, the announcement of a new remake of Snow White, just 1 year after the disaster she starred in, has been interpreted as a direct blow, a silent sentence. What really happened behind the scenes? And why are even Hollywood's progressive sectors now turning their backs? And how did a simple remake of a classic end up sinking an entire generation of creative fans and a star? The story you are about to learn does not have a happy ending. Disney's first big gamble was clear: to modernize the 1937 classic with a strong heroine, without a prince, without romantic love, and with a feminist message for new generations. But things went awry from the beginning. In her interviews, Rachel Zegler described the original story as odd, criticized the prince, and ridiculed the romance that had enamored millions on social media for decades. Those statements did not go unnoticed. Pressure began to mount, the fandom splintered, and when the trailer was released, criticisms poured in relentlessly. The first private screenings confirmed the worst. Neither the public nor critics felt connected to this new Snow White, but the worst was yet to come. Bob Iger, Disney's CEO, knew that the scandal was out of control. Merchandise was not selling, stores began liquidating products weeks before the premiere, the budget would never be recovered, and the company's creatives couldn't agree. Some wanted to maintain the progressive stance, while others demanded a return to the roots before the Disney brand became synonymous with controversy. The result was an unprecedented internal crisis, with marketing, public relations, and management departments disconnected from one another, sending contradictory messages while the film's reputation plummeted, until they made a desperate decision. Without any official statement, Disney announced a new project, another version of Snow White, but this time promising a return to the original magic with classic songs, a fairy tale atmosphere, and a story that didn't need fixing. Rachel Zegler was not mentioned, her appearances in Disney media were cancelled, and while the products spoke of returning to the emotional essence of the classics, the industry understood the true message. They wanted to erase the disaster and start from scratch. Rumors exploded. It was said that the new casting was looking for an actress with classic elegance and natural charisma, someone who wouldn't divide the audience but rather unite it, and Zegler, who had been presented as the symbol of a new era, was now out of the picture. With each new leak, Zegler's image crumbled further. Some insiders even claimed that she alone had sabotaged the movie with her attitude, her speeches, and her behavior in interviews. Meanwhile, Disney was already moving pieces to regain control: veteran animators, new composers, and a long-term plan that included everything from changes in the parks to behind-the-scenes documentaries to clean up the image. Zegler, for her part, fell into silence. There was no public defense, no redemption, only the echo of a career that, after West Side Story, seemed destined for stardom and now is floundering amidst accusations, cancellations, and memes. And then comes the inevitable question. The silence surrounding Rachel Zegler is no coincidence in Hollywood. When doors stop opening, there is no need for an official statement, you only need to observe who no longer answers the phone. Producers who once praised her now avoid mentioning her. Studios that were considering including her in new projects have begun looking for alternatives. Even brands that had considered her for campaigns have withdrawn proposals without further explanation. And while the spotlights ignore her, the industry reorganizes behind her back. Zegler, unwittingly, has become the example of what happens when an actress faces a machinery that values control above all. The narrative was about individual talent, but the backlash wasn't only directed at Rachel Zegler. Disney also received a clear message from the public: stop ruining what used to work. Social media exploded after the announcement of the new remake. Hundreds of thousands of comments demanded respect for the classics and accused the company of using iconic characters as testing grounds for ideologies. The problem isn't that they changed Snow White, wrote one user. The problem is they took her apart piece by piece and still expected her to shine. The company that for years captured the hearts of millions now walks a tightrope. One more wrong move, and the spell will break entirely. Behind the artistic failure lies an economic disaster. millions of dollars in unsold merchandise, business deals that were paused or cancelled, and stores reporting major losses due to products from a movie that audiences simply chose to ignore. And not only that. Investors began to ask, is Disney losing its way? Does it still have the creative compass that once turned every movie into a global event? Nervous executives know they can't afford another failure. Why this new remake isn't just an attempt to redo Snow White, it's a rescue operation for the entire brand. To avoid repeating the disaster, Disney has brought in reinforcements. A new screenwriter known for balancing emotion and structure, a director with global experience, and the return of animators who once helped shape the golden age of Disney princesses. Everything suggests that this time they want to do things right, paying attention to every detail, from the music to the visual effects, from the costumes to the emotional tone. They're aiming to make the story feel like a return home, but can a new team undo the damage that's already been done? Is it possible to win back an audience that once felt betrayed? The answers aren't yet clear. What is clear, however, is that Disney is not just betting on one movie, it's betting on its legacy. In recent statements, Disney no longer talks about a simple remake. They don't even mention names. They speak of returning to the heart of the stories that shaped us, of bringing the magic back, but between the lines, everyone understands what's truly at stake. This isn't just about a movie, it's a battle for reputation, for proving they can still inspire without dividing, still move people without causing rejection. The new project has been surrounded by secrecy. No confirmed cast, no official release dates, just a quiet promise. This time, we won't ruin the story. But in a hyper-informed world, promises without results don't last long. Meanwhile, the audience watches, not with the hopeful eyes of someone expecting magic, but with the skepticism of someone who's been let down before. In forums, on social media, and in film analysis channels, the same question keeps coming up: have they really learned anything? Some fans express hope. Others, just exhaustion. After years of controversial remakes, contradictory decisions, and forced agendas, even the most loyal Disney fans are starting to ask, what if this isn't the same studio we once knew? Every new leak, every creative decision will be judged as part of a massive public test. Because now it's not just about a princess, it's about reclaiming something far more valuable: trust. Disney has put all its chips on the table. Rachel Zegler has been silenced, and Snow White is being rewritten once again. What was once a simple fairy tale has now become a reflection of the state of an entire industry, an industry that can no longer afford to stumble, that can no longer hide its mistakes behind a shiny veneer. The new remake is not just another production, it's a desperate attempt to recover something that was once sacred: the connection with the audience. But the question that still hangs in the air is a haunting one: is there any magic left in Disney, or just the dust of what once was? And now we want to know your opinion. Do you think Disney can redeem itself with this new remake, or is it already too late to rebuild what was broken with Rachel Zegler?